There have already been 5 supermoons this year, one in March, April, May, and October, and we just had a recent one on the 14th. Yoel Yango took a deeper look into the historic night.
This football season proved memorable for the Prosper Eagles. Mackenzie Hamilton is at the sports deck with highlights from the district champion football team season.
The Veterans Day lunch was on the 11th. Veterans and their families got to spend time together and celebrate this holiday. Seth Golden has more later on the show.
Eagle Nation News starts right now.
Good morning, Prosper High School. Today is Thursday, November 17th, and I'm Matthew Tibbetts.
And I'm Sola Cantai. Here are today's top stories. Cornerstone Christmas is an opportunity for Prosper High School students to give back to the community by donating items families will receive during the holidays. The items are due to the counseling office by December 5th, and Cornerstone Christmas will take place here at the high school on December the 11th.
Our very own Zach McConnell will be advancing to the state competition after performing 3 classical pieces, including 2 songs in Latin and 1 in English. He received 2nd in our area and is a member of the top 5 tenors that will be advancing to the state round. We all wish him the best as he goes to finals.
Tomorrow, the winners of the Cash for Cancer competition will be taking their field trip to watch the new Harry Potter movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The seniors will need to report to the cafeteria by 8:45 a.m. to check in. Seniors not attending the field trip will need to be present for their classes.
It's been nearly 70 years since we've seen a moon as big as the one on Monday.
That's right, Matthew, and Yoel Yango got both a historic and scientific look at the special night.
The supermoon Perigee Syzygy made its first appearance in 70 years on Sunday, November 13th and Monday, November 14th.
So a supermoon occurs when the moon approaches Earth the closest. That's what we call perigee. So there's apogee and perigee. Apogee is when the moon is the furthest away from the Earth, and perigee is when the moon is closest to the Earth. And so this happens when you see a full moon and the moon is at its closest approach.
A supermoon happens when the moon looks about 14% bigger and 30% brighter than the average moon. The last supermoon was in 1948, and the next one will be on November 25th of 2034.
Yeah, so the moon has about an average distance of about 240,000 miles from us, give or take a couple 10,000 miles. This year's moon is actually going to be about 20,000 miles closer to the Earth.
A photojournalism class taught by Miss Oglesby went to photograph the supermoon and flaming wool on Monday, November 14th.
We're shooting the moon. We're going to go out and get the supermoon rising tonight, and we're going to try to get some cool pictures, and we're also going to light steel wool on fire and spin it around and get those really cool spark pictures.
We then asked her what she hoped to teach her students that night.
Well, it's a photography class, so what we want to do is teach kids about long exposure, and this supermoon hasn't happened since the 30s, and it's not going to happen again until the 30s, 2030 something, 4 I think. Right. And so why wouldn't you want a picture of the moon?
The following are examples of Miss Oglesby's and her students' work. Long exposure photography is when a camera uses long shutter speeds to capture non-moving objects in an image. This is Yoel Yango for Eagle Nation News.
After this commercial break, we kick it to Seth Golden, who sat down with some of the veterans who were here on Friday for the Veterans Day lunch.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy's feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit those raindrops are falling on my head, and they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things.
Veterans Day was last Friday, November the 11th, and to honor those who have served our country, Prosper High School students planned a Veterans Day lunch to pay their respects. Seth Golden spoke with veterans to find out what this holiday means to them.
The Veterans Day lunch was held here at the high school last Friday. The lunch helped give back to those who gave to our country.
I was in the Air Force, and it was a great experience. I'm proud to have served in the Air Force. I had a couple of deployments to Saudi Arabia, something obviously I probably wouldn't have not being in the military, so great experience. My family was very supportive. They were very proud. I think during deployments, they maybe were worried, but definitely supportive.
Veterans Day is a day to celebrate and thank those who have served in our country's military.
A memorial is a way where we remember those who have passed on. But if you served in Afghanistan, Iraq, you could still be in your 20s or early 30s. And you still deserve some recognition. In fact, I like Veterans Day even more because it gives recognition to people who are still around to be recognized. It's, you know, people who've passed on, you sometimes think, if only I had told them how I felt about them while they were still here. With Veterans Day, we get to do that.
The lunch helped show the high school's thanks to all veterans of the military. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Seth Golden.
And now with another poll in your social media, here's Ethan Burden.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, I'm Ethan Burden here with your daily dose of social media. Today we'll start off with a poll I ran yesterday asking what your favorite Thanksgiving traditional food was. The results were 34% answered turkey, 15% answered cornbread, 12% answered green bean casserole, and 39% answered other. Thank you everyone that participated in the poll, and make sure to turn on our post notifications so you're ready for the next one. Now we'll move on to this week's hashtag ProsperTBT. Our first submission is of @Jackson Thetford with a picture of him balling from the past. Next we have a submission from @Morgan Nicious with a group photo from her middle school days. And finally we have a submission of @KindleFoster21 looking very sassy. Thank you everyone that submitted any photos this week and participated. Well, that's going to do it for today. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @EagleNationNews for more polls, contests, and giveaways. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Ethan Burden, and we have one more day until Thanksgiving break.
After the break, we kick it to Kelly Trinh with a cross-country season highlight.
There's a crepe sale on Thursday, November 17th during all lunches. Proceeds will go to a local food bank, Gracebridge. Crepes, including one additional topping, will cost $1 each. Each additional topping will cost 50 cents. Teachers can order crepes through a Google form sent to their email.
Sam Rizzo and the cross-country girls ended their season at the state competition in Round Rock, Texas last week. Kelly Trinh sat down with junior leader Sam Rizzo to gain some insight on their season.
After 5 months of intense training, Prosper's girls and boys cross-country team has sprinted to district, regionals, and state championships.
We're ranked number 1 in the state right now. We're trying to win a state championship. So improving from 3rd to 1st is, kind of a goal for us.
This year, especially what's changed from last year, is every run's intense. We run every single day since, the beginning of June. We're running faster, longer, harder, just so we can become better.
We've really pushed to be there for each other. We practice every morning, and that's a pretty good routine that helps us, keep track of what we need practice on and everything. So races are a good way to reflect on how we're doing currently.
The girls' cross-country team placed 3rd in state, while the boys came 7th in district last year. This time around, the girls received 2nd place in state, while Sam Rizzo stood out and placed 103rd.
We've been just training really hard, and as a whole, I think our team's gotten a lot stronger and our times have gotten a lot closer together, which is really what you want in a team, is to have like a really close split.
In the future, we're going to set a pretty high standard. Coach Grenier even said we're going to be able to push ourselves even more, knowing that we could have had the state championship. So it's going to be like a good mindset for everybody coming in too.
It's very rewarding for me as a coach to see the kids' hard work rewarded. They worked hard all summer, and we've had some ups and downs during the season, and for both of them be able to come out on top and be district champs, be recognized by their peers, it's nice and it's rewarding for them, so it makes me happy as a coach.
Got a lot of young talent, and just the atmosphere of our programs really changed. It's a lot more intense, it's a lot more goal-oriented.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Kelly Trin.
After this commercial break, Mackenzie Hamilton has the highlights of last week's football playoff game.
Yearbook photos are posted in the window of the nurse's office. Check your photo and name to make sure it is correct. If anything is incorrect, please let Ms. Hanlon know by Friday, November 18th. The Carter Blood Drive is Monday, November 28th. Sign up during lunches until November 17th. Students must be at least 16 to donate. Prosper Fall Jazz Concert is November 17th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. Admission is free.
Now, with the conclusion for our football season, here's Mackenzie Hamilton. Mackenzie?
Thank you. I'm Mackenzie Hamilton here with your sports update. The Prosper football season officially ended last Friday after the Eagles took a loss to the Wakeland Wolverines in the first round of playoffs.
John Clark Stadium was the scene for 5A Region 2 area matchup of the Prosper Eagles versus the Wakeland Wolverines. The Wolverines were the first to get on the scoreboard for the night, getting knocked in the end zone to make the score 6-0. Prosper's defense then set up their offense with a sack resulting in a fumble recovery. But Prosper's chance to score slipped through their hands with another fumble of their own. The Eagles' defense was able to contain Wakeland's offense for the rest of the quarter, allowing the Eagles' offense to redeem themselves in the second quarter, evening out the score with quarterback Austin Lynn finding pay dirt. Wakeland connected at the end of the quarter, though, making the score 13-16 heading into the second half. Once again, the Eagles' defense was able to contain the Wolverines, including a key interception from Jevin Boyd. Kay Dort completed a 33-yard field goal, but the Wolverines scored a touchdown again, taking the game 20-9.
This loss marked the end of the 2016 Prosper Eagle football team season. Although their play ended earlier than they would have liked, this season brought about many accomplishments that will leave not only a lasting impact on football players, but also on all of the Prosper High School students and community members who were a part of this year's season. From playing in McLean Stadium to being undefeated at home to winning district for the first time in 8 years, this team created many memories for the student body and specifically the seniors. For football seniors, the end of the season marked their last early morning practices, their last Saturday morning film review, their last team huddles, and their last time ever putting on the green and white. For band members and the flag team, this marked their last time creating the background music that shaped the unique atmosphere of the student section, and their last time to play at halftime on their home field. For cheerleaders and talonets, this brought an end to cheering on their Prosper Eagle football players, to pumping up the crowd, and to planning and performing at pep rallies. And lastly, for all seniors, this marked their last time in the Eagle Zone, their last time getting coated in baby powder from head to toe, their last time taking pictures during and after the games, their last time reciting the cheers they had memorized since the first time they became an Eagle, their last of the Friday Night Light memories. I personally would like to thank this year's football team for making my last year to cheer on the Prosper Eagles in football a memorable one, and I'm pretty sure plenty of my fellow peers would agree. So thank you to all the senior football players, the team and coaching staff as a whole, and all others involved in making our last season an unforgettable one. That's all I have for you today. Reporting for Eagle Nation Sports, I'm Mackenzie Hamilton. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I'm sure we'd all like to thank them for their historic season.
Well, that's going to do it for our show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Sola Cantai.
And I'm Matthew Tibbetts. Live long and prosper.